It was a long day, and here's how it went. On my way to watch Manchester City and Arsenal play. Going into Manhattan to watch the game. Why am I up this early? Because I'm going to get to meet troops for the first time, and I'm very excited. I'm really annoyed because I forgot the most important thing that I always bring whenever I leave the house. I'm here. I stopped for breakfast at Penn Station. I'm going to regret that. And then, of course, when I got in there, because I'm an old man, I forgot to hit record when I met troops and we had this beautiful conversation.
What?
It was an ordeal to move 3 feet in that bar, but troops found time to talk and hang out with anybody that came up to him and wanted to say hi.
That's rare. That's very rare.
That's my guy.
Style.
He's your regular average guy that has had celebrity thrust upon him, and he's meeting it in the most classy way.
It's 2-0. They just cut right through us, man.
It's gotten so fucking bad with this team. It's like we're cursed. Someone put a curse on us like that stupid ass motherfucking Stephen King book.
A few moments later.
3-0.
Okay, that does it. Screw you guys, I'm going home.
I want to thank Troops for all the wonderful things he said to me. He had time for everybody, and that place was packed out. Packed out. You could not move without somebody rubbing up against you.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Thank you, Troops, for making a horrible day an actually wonderful day. And you quit fucking smiling. Fuck you. New York out.
International Gooners, and we've seen the most dead performance. Who's the ham roll? Who is it? For today. Seems like we're the ham rolls. Come in.
I don't even know any more blood lads.
Ready?
I don't even know, bro.
I'm off.
It's a fucking joke, fam. Understand that?
I understand that we're not as good, but you come here expecting against hope, which is most illogical, and then 2 minutes later you're fucked.
Literally, we can score and then we're 3-0 down, bro.
But right now we can't even score. Like our
We haven't won a game at home in 70 days, bro.
Our forward line is one of the best, I think.
I don't think it is. I don't think it's one of the best. I think it's good, but it's not one of the best.
A couple of hours to reflect on the game, and the gulf in class between City and us is just embarrassing. They are the Arsenal that we want to be. They play the way that we want to play. They were cutting us open at will, and that's just not acceptable. We used to play much better than this 10 years ago when we had shit players, and now with better players we're performing like absolute jokers. At points we had to hide our embarrassment by laughter and saying how much these guys don't want it. That players like Kolasinac would rather face guys with knives than be on the pitch and man up and face the challenge there. So right now it's on the board really to get the new manager in for that person to assess the players. The deadwood needs to go, the main players need to stay, otherwise this thing is going to disintegrate again. Our transition phase has been going on and on and on, and it's gone on longer than our glory days. That's just embarrassing, and we need someone who has Premier League experience. For me, it's got to be Poch. Allegri might have the same problem as Emery, which is the language barrier, and Ancelotti, I'm really not sure whether he still has it. he didn't quite do well at Bayern Munich. He was too lenient, in fact, and you can't do that with Arsenal players, as you know. So we need a new manager in. We need the players to get motivated again and to turn this around. Come on, this is not acceptable. Arsenal fans cannot live like this. Come on, Arsenal board, you have to take some action now.
Hi, Arsenal world. What a disappointment. What a disappointment. But there's 5 points I want to make. Number one is our youngsters. I'm very, very proud of you. You came in, you put in a very, very good performance. I hope all those guys, all the guys learn from you. The second thing is Mesut Ozil. I'm so fed up with that guy. I'm a big supporter, I'm a big fan of Mesut Ozil, but stop behaving like a spoiled $350,000 a week baby, you know? You are a number 10? Look at the number 10. Look at Kevin De Bruyne. He scored 2 goals. He had so many shots on target. What did you give us? Nothing. So before you stop and behave like a rock star, make sure you act like a rock star, and you are awful. And I think that we have enough of you. If you're going to be like this, Freddie should drop you and we just bring a replacement in, because you are past it. You're not good for us anymore. Guendouzi, you are still learning, but you were awful. You need to defend. You need to learn to defend. Learn from Rodri, you know? You break the play, or you pick the runners. You get a foul, a professional foul, but you don't just carry on and just float. This is not good enough. But you are young, so I give it to you. I'm just mad with Arsenal fans who keep on telling you how good you are and this. You are just bang average, and you're still learning, and you are really far from it. Now, the team. One shot on target on the first minute when you're playing at home and when you are trialing 3-0. This is not acceptable. Aubameyang, you can't always have the ball on your feet. The 50-50 ball, you have to fight for them. You have to chase the ball. The whole team is like all the senior players. We look out there was no one. This is not acceptable. How could you guys accept and live with that? Now we want the board to go out and sign a guy. Doesn't matter who it is, because with that shit team, nothing would get done. So at least let's get someone signed as soon as possible.
And which we lost yesterday was unacceptable. I'm not going to get onto Freddie's back, I'm going to get onto the players' backs. The only players who played well for us yesterday were Leno. Emil Smith-Rowe changed the game when he came on. Martinelli played with energy, skill, ability and purpose throughout the game. Willock did well when he came on, and Saka tried his best at left back position. The only youngster who didn't turn up yesterday was Guendouzi. I have never understood why our fans rate this kid so highly. He is useless. Whenever he gets the ball, all he does is get the ball, go sideways, get the ball, go sideways, get the ball, go backwards. He takes so long to release the ball. He has no technical ability. He strolls around the pitch with no urgency, and he's so flimsy like a girl. And after that, he had the audacity to try and dive in their penalty box to try and cheat and get a penalty. Did you see the way he got turned for De Bruyne's goal? That is unacceptable. But he drives. He has passion. Another player who didn't play well was Aubameyang. Where was his press? He was lazy, strolling around pitch. That is terrible attitude of a forward, and he was invisible throughout the match. Unacceptable.
Sad day, man. Okay, what do I think? I think the players need to take a good hard look at themselves. They really let both the fans down, and so did the coaches. I think there was a bit of miscommunication, because at 2-0 you could clearly see the confusion, because they don't know what to do. If they go back and sit and defend, City are going to play along the line and they are going to score, and if they press, they are going to leave a huge gap behind. So they were a bit confused on what to do, and you could clearly see that in the game. And what's sad is that you could see that City are not the team that they were. They are not as good. You could see the reason why United won them in Etihad. You could clearly see that the games were there to be taken, but the players were not brave enough, and they were clearly confused. And defensively, as a team, they were just shit. And it's a pity, man. It's disgraceful. We need massive improvement, and I have faith in Freddie to turn it around.
A lot of things to talk about. A couple of things that I'd like to highlight was the defending. It was schoolboy. It was like Sunday league football, to be honest. There was back in the days when I used to play football, just as a hobby, sometimes for the local club. Our coach used to always say, I used to defend, so the coach used to always say, stand with your man. And if you're standing with your man, mark the man, always stand behind the man. That way you'll have some vantage point for the ball or the movement of the player. But as you can see, the first goal, De Bruyne had so much room for taking the shot. And no one around him. If I was Torreira, I would be marking De Bruyne, not giving him a chance to score that goal, or at least making it difficult for him to take that shot. Because De Bruyne had all the time in the world. Doesn't matter that ball was bloody bouncing or I don't know what. He did whatever he could do. He was allowed to do it, let's put it that way.
Nothing. We didn't have no spirit, no confidence, nothing. And City just rolled through us. It was the easiest performance that they had. I've never seen City laid back and win a game 3-0. Not even just getting pressured. Nothing. I saw Arsenal for 40 seconds and that was it. 40 seconds and that was it. That was Arsenal. I think Martinelli had a good game. I wouldn't say good game, but he was the fighting spirit in there. Torreira tried to do something. He was putting some tackles, but I don't know. Guendouzi's not good enough. He's not good enough in this team, and I say that because defensively he doesn't do that much. You will see, if you go back and see most of his highlights, defensively he doesn't do that much work. He doesn't work that hard. And I think this board is just looking for another clown in this. Like with this managerial search, they're just looking for another clown they can puppet. Yeah.
It feels like after 18 months of new management, we have become worse. And the evidence is there to show that we are actually worse than we were. I wasn't expecting us to win against Man City, but I was expecting us to fight. I didn't see the fight today. I didn't see players who wanted to play for the badge. Players who wanted to give something back to the fans. Fans who have spent so much money to watch you play. I'm quite disappointed with the attitude of Mesut Ozil. I don't need to say any more. You all saw what happened. That sort of behavior, if that was seen from a young player, we will understand the frustration. But from a senior player, that's very unacceptable. I don't want to make that the subject of this video today. But all I'm going to say is there's so much more happening behind the scenes. It's not just on the pitch. It's a big job, whoever comes in to take over this club. There's so many egos behind the scenes. There's so many things that need to be sorted out. And the future is Martinelli. The future is Leno. It's those players. I feel sorry for Lombard. It's an impossible job.
This is the worst season ever. I'm not really surprised about, the game yet against Man City. The fact that even a team like Brighton could come to the Emirates and outplay us. When would Man City come there and have a training session? Because as far as I was concerned yesterday, that was just a training session by Man City.
We can't get a break. We're soft. We're just bad lucky. I know City's a good team, but we could at least put up a fight, score a goal, draw, something. But we lost 3-0. It's just Aubameyang, Lacazette on the bench. Pepe, I don't know. There's no chemistry whatsoever. Lundberg, take my hat off to him. He trying, but we need a manager. Me personally, I want Ancelotti because he's experienced. You know, I don't want no no-name manager that's gonna come in and fail like Unai Emery. I want a real distinguished manager. Some people might not want that manager, but you know what? He has experience, and I don't want a new manager that doesn't have experience. It's just depressing being an Arsenal supporter. I don't even want to turn on the game and watch it, but we can't give up on them. We have to keep supporting them, but right now it's rough. All we can say, all eggs are in one basket, Europa League. So until then, guns out, Arsenal bullets.
I think Arsenal should just sell like Aubameyang in January and keep Lacazette as the younger one, keep him as the main striker and have Martinelli as the second striker to him and use the Aubameyang money and get some proper defender. And let's be honest, Aubameyang is older and he wants to go to Real Madrid. Rumor has it. So I think we should sell Aubameyang, you know, get some defenders and put Lacazette as the main striker. He's young and he can score. Because let's be honest, Lacazette don't really get a lot of playing time. Because if he do get playing time like Aubameyang, he will score also. Let's not forget, Lacazette is also a good striker. Good try in the Man City game, and I think we should just push on, get a new manager, and sell Aubameyang.
Whoa, hi Ghana family. Well, it's a shame that we've lost, but first of all, I'd like to send my support to Robbie, as he was getting stick from the local media about Arsenal Fan TV and fan shows. He's given a voice to many of us, the fans outside, and we come from different walks of life, different countries, and speak different languages. We have different accents and different ways of articulating ourselves. So there's no point of them saying that because we speak different, it renders our IQ to be lower or higher. I mean, that's just a shame anyway. And as for Arsenal, we're always a trendsetter, so yes, there's always going to be, you know, backlash and people not agreeing with us. For the game, I think, you know, Ozil, it just showed what a proper number 10 is. De Bruyne assists and scores. He does everything to get the 3 points. Ozil will look at the goal begging open and will look for the pass. We need to move on from Ozil. We need to acknowledge that he's not the source of our creativity, and people need to step up to be creative. I mean, we're playing Man City. Yeah, nobody expected us to get away with the win, but you know, hopefully people can learn lessons. But anyway, some of the players seem uncoachable.
About Lundberg, enough about Lundberg. Take it onto the players. Let them do themselves off and fight for the team. Because in fact, you can scrap the whole team, put the women's team in there. They have more passion and fight into that team. Because they will play. Even if they win like 5-0, they'll still go in more. And if you weren't lucky, De Bruyne could have scored 5 goals in that match. So moving forward, I'm not confident at all. Even before the game started, I said we weren't going to do well. Because Man City have a thing where DT already said it, like any team they lose against the next match, they just beat them. And it looked like Man City could have scored like 10 goals.
A team like this just shows what we need. It definitely is not to Freddie Ljungberg's lack of trying with the team. It's just a team that we have, unfortunately. And yeah, we need defenders. We need better defenders. We need 3 or 4 defenders in January. There isn't anybody else that would do any better. It is what it is.
Watching us now is really depressing. I mean, it's not fun anymore. There's nothing to look up to. I mean, we showed no fight. Yes, we are playing against a good team, but we didn't show any desire, no fight. We defended poorly as usual. nothing seems to be going well with us. We don't have the manager. The team is in shambles. The team is in shambles now, and we need a strong character now. We need a strong manager like Allegri, like Ancelotti, the big managers, and we'll see where we go from there. But now it's really bad. Things are not going well at all.